When a person is on the edge of death, and they look back over the vista of their life, it's foreseeable that they'd think of all the things that they loved, but'll miss. These critical moments have a way of opening our eyes, of shunting us out of our lethargy, and making us see things objectively again. And in that moment of lucidity, you think not just of the things that you loved, but even more crushingly, of the things you didn't know you loved. Like sneezing, for instance. The miniature thrill of a mosquito bite first scratched. Urinating after you held it in so long that the bliss is almost akin to that of an orgasm. Knuckles which are capable of being cracked. Pressing paint blisters on a piece of wood until they popped. Poking ground beef while it's wrapped tightly in cellophane to see the impression your finger makes. The pristine imprint of a corporate logo on a brand new bar of soap. As ridiculous as they are, these are the moments that make up a life, the unremarked instants that define who we really are, much more accurately than the official resumes we give out for public consumption. But we're not just defined by the things we love, we're also defined by the things we hate. I'm no different. I have my own list. Well, hate's kind of a strong word. Let me just say that I have a list of things that I find creepy. Number 1, dogs with pink noses. Number 2, provincial stock company productions of Annie with a dusty red wig below which stares out the face of a child utterly unrecognizable after you mentally memorize the actress from the movie. The momentary cognitive dissonance is always jarring. 3, outie belly buttons. 4, restaurants that embarrass patrons when the victim unwittingly allows someone to know that it's their birthday. There are also questions that remain unresolved at the end of a life. Some are deep and concern our origins. For instance, someone who was adopted might wonder who their parents were. Some ideological questions linger as well, like with people wondering about, popular conspiracy theories that will never legitimately be answered. At the center of my own being, there remains a small tuft of unresolved questions. 1, how can we say bless you when someone sneezes, but we have no ready-made formula for times when people cough? I mean, sometimes you get those people who cough and it kind of sounds like a sneeze, or they sneeze and it kind of sounds like a cough, and you don't know which is which, and you don't want to be rude, so you say bless you anyway. Well, why isn't there a social expression for a cough? I mean, historically, I know that in the Middle Ages, they thought that when you sneezed, you temporarily opened yourself up for demonic possession, should a wandering spirit see you momentarily incapacitated. So saying bless you was a magical incantation to protect the sneezer. Should all bodily exhalations have a magical incantation? The second thing that always made me wonder about is the alphabet. I mean, something as simple as the letter H. How come most letters in the alphabet represent the sound that they actually make, like B makes B, D makes D? They all more or less make sense, except for the letter H. Wouldn't that be a much more fitting sound for the CH phonic? Ch, H. And H doesn't even make the aspirant at the front, the sound that it's supposed to make anyway. Weird. My third burning mystery occurred to me in talking to a little boy. He said that he aspired to be rich someday so that everything could be first class. But he showed how mature he was by saying that he made a life plan in case he was only second class. He was confused when I laughed, and I had to explain that the expression was middle class. But then it occurred to me, maybe he's right after all. Aren't people from the middle class second class citizens? Isn't that how they're treated anyway? How come nobody notices this? Well, anyway, that's my book of lists, the categories that sketch out my inner biography. Consider this your primer on Mr. Angry Pants.